everybody, how's it going? It is Wednesday night. No, it's Tuesday night. Tuesday night. I'm getting ahead of myself. Tuesday night, and what is normally our time slot to do the Star Wars Wastelands podcast. Star Wars Wastelands. Wow, I'm going back in time. The Star Wars Renegades podcast. It is, in fact, Fandom Empire Live Episode 3 due to availability. And I would also say a bit of a minor update on the Halloween front. It's been an interesting day. We got some clarification on that Halloween Kills concept mask, which is oh, look at that. Something's in my eye. Fuck me. We got some clarification on that, so we're going to update you guys on what's going on with that. And we maybe have an update on the release of Halloween Kills. We'll find out. Joining me for the first time on one of these officially on the YouTube channel, that is, he is a host and behind-the-scenes guy over at Fandom Empire, which is here, by the way. It's Johnny. How's it going, man? Mute Monster, I think, dude. Mute Monster again.
Wow, that thing's got a mind of its own, that monster, man. I mean, first setup with the new laptop, and the Mute Monster eats me 30 seconds into the show. It's fantastic. I'm excited. Yeah, I'm excited to finally be on one of these, and it's gonna be great. It's gonna be great.
I mean, I think I'd rather have the Mute Monster eat me than something else. I mean, all things considered, it's probably one of the least painful ways to be eaten. Just throwing that out there. What's in the cup? You might find out soon. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, this is Fandom Empire Live Episode 3. Unscheduled, of course. I'm your host, Sean. Guy over to one of these sides, I can't see the screen right now, is Johnny, and we're here to talk Halloween 2018, Halloween Kills, Halloween Ends. Johnny, we're being told your mic is a little low, so you just might have to speak a little louder due to the way this is produced. We both run through the same feed. So, actually, hang on. I might be able to boost you up a bit. 1 second. Try now.
Okay. How about now? How are we doing?
Your levels look good to me, man. They look good to me. Hopefully, everybody can hear you all right. All right, so again, we're going to dive into some Halloween 2018 talk. It's been a while since we really dove into that movie on this channel. So, kick back, relax. Let's talk some H18, but we have some kills and end stuff to get to. And I'm going to let everybody know right now, we're going to address the Halloween Kills possible update. I don't want to call it a full-on update because it wasn't given to me like that. It's not official. But, for people that are, clamoring for hope for this movie, stay tuned because maybe there is some. It's just a bit better, man. Just a bit better. Apparently, it's going to have to do. So I had a chance to see Halloween 2018. Actually, before we get into this, let's do this properly. As you know, when we do Fandom Empire Live, we eventually turn to the chat and do AMAs. This is primarily going to be a discussion episode, guys. We are going to pay attention to the comment section as much as we can. If you really want to get something in, feel free to send a super chat. We will interrupt the discussion immediately and read what you guys have to say. Otherwise, if you just want to send a normal chat, we will get to them a bit later on. But it doesn't mean we're not trying to pay attention to the feed. We definitely are. We'll get to what we can. Again, if you want to interrupt the discussion at any time, send in a super chat. Otherwise, just wait till we're done rambling. All right, dude. So let's be honest here. When Halloween 2018, or Halloween as they decided to title it, was announced, you were skeptical?
That's putting it mildly.
I just wanted a Halloween movie. The last one I seen was Rob Zombie's movie. And this is not to...
That's the last one we all saw, because it was the last one that was made.
It was a fucking shit show. In the words of Dave McRae, a shit show. I'll tell you what, though. The beginning of that movie, I remember seeing it opening night with Ray and thinking, the first 10, 15 minutes, I'm just like, holy fuck, this is good. This is really good. This is going to be awesome. Nope, just a dream. Let's move on to this dog shit show that followed. Again, if you guys like it, all film subjective. That's cool. I envy you. I wish I could have enjoyed it on your level. For me, it's so bad that I actually enjoy watching it. That's where I put Rob Zombie's H2. It's so terrible that I get a kick out of watching it. But anyways, fast forward, 7 or 8 years when we get the announcement about Halloween 2018. And I remember having the conversation with you. I don't even think Fandom Cantina, which is now Fandom Empire, was made then. I think
we were still on the S&J show.
Yeah, and we would have been a part of 1138. And I remember I told you, hey, new Halloween movie, Carpenter's involved. David Gordon Green's going to direct, and he's going to co-write it with Danny McBride. And I don't think you would be, held responsible for not being overly thrilled at the idea of Danny McBride writing a Halloween movie. Just let everybody know what your response was to it, because I remember you were.
I can't remember specifically what my response is.
I know how cynical you get, dude, about
but
things.
It was definitely. Oh man, I couldn't wrap my head around the concept, because to me, Danny McBride was Eastbound and Down. That's his thing. That's what he was most famous for at that point. And I couldn't compute Eastbound and Down style comedy with a Halloween style film, and it didn't work. I was afraid we were going to get another Rob Zombie type movie, because let's be real, if you compare H2, the zombie version, to an Eastbound and Down episode, they're pretty similar in a lot of ways. And that was my biggest fear, was that we were just going to get something crap, something that we'd already lived through at this point. We'd had a glimpse of goodness with the first zombie Halloween. It was actually kind of good. And then the second one happened. But I mean, before that, we'd been on a run of, we haven't had a good Halloween, we haven't had a great Halloween movie in decades. And I couldn't wrap my head around Danny McBride as a horror writer. It didn't work. I mean, if anything has proven since that conversation had, is that comedy writers are apparently pretty good at horror. Because I mean, was it Peele or Keegan Michael? One of them.
Jordan Peele. Jordan Peele
absolutely
has been knocking it out of the park.
Phenomenal horror director and writer, and I never would have predicted that, but proven wrong again. I say I'll eat my crow when it's served to me, but I'm happy to have eaten the crow for this one.
I wasn't cynical. I just I wanted Halloween. I was prepared to accept whatever we got, really. Just praying it wasn't Rob Zombie's. And there's so many rumored Halloween movies between Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 and the time that we got H18, that it was just give us something. Anyway, I loved what we got. I remember going to TIFF, and I'm not going to recount my experience at TIFF because the people in the chat have heard that enough. And by the way, can I just give a shout out to everybody in the chat right now? This shows that we're paying attention. Right now, there's a conversation going on in the chat about a dude's buddy works with Christopher Nelson, who we at the channel have been in contact with. He was generous enough to reach out to us. And, the fact that you guys are talking, guys and gals are talking amongst yourselves in the chat while this is going on is exactly why we created Fandom Empire. Whether you're a Halloween fan, a Star Wars fan, a Supernatural fan, Marvel, DC, you name it, you guys that have started to follow us and everything that we do is it's so appreciated. I only ask one thing. No, I'm not asking you to super chat if you don't want to. We'll interrupt for it if we need to. That's fine. Click the damn like button, please. There's 60 of you people in here right now, and it's 62 of you guys and gals. Click the like button. It honestly helps us out a ton. It takes 2 seconds to click that like button. But maybe you're just like, you know what, Sean? Fuck you. I'm clicking the dislike button. That's cool too. But click that like button. It helps us out. We're going to get to the kills content eventually. And the likes start to come in. Sometimes you got to do that. I got to tip my hat to Christian.
You got to remind them to hit that button. You know, you get going in the chat and you forget you haven't hit it yet. And,
dude,
and then a host gently reminds you to smash that button, and it's like, oh yeah, I guess I haven't done that yet.
I'm just as guilty for, you know, I'll be sitting there watching one of Dave's video or Drum Dums or the Wham guys, and it's like, oh, I haven't clicked the like button yet. And like, I get it. 1 or 2 likes isn't going to make a big difference. But if a bunch of people start smashing that like button, it makes a difference and it helps the channel. So thank you for that. Thank you for that, guys. It's appreciated. Anyways, brief recount of my time at TIFF. It was amazing. I was in the rush line. I got in. That's where I met Toronto Freddy, one of the mods in the chat. Super appreciated what him and Frank Riker are doing. Is there an A, Frank? If there was an A button, believe me, the two of us would have it.
That's a Canadian thumbs up. It's the same thing.
We're like a poor man's Tim and Sid. And if you know that reference, kudos to you. Give yourself a hit to the like button. See, this is a lot easier when there's someone to converse with on here. And just it hasn't been possible lately. It's like, and you know what really drives me nuts is the people that support the channel. I think now understand that there's more than just me at Fandom Empire. Mm-hmm. But there's some trolls out there, and some of them, like our buddy Manny who comes in and trolls, does it in a classy way where he's not, being violent and going too far. He's just, being a hard ass. But there's some people coming here. Yeah, there's nobody at Fandom Empire. It's just you, bud. It's just you. You can ask this guy that's on with me right now if it's just me, and it definitely isn't. I'm the hard ass that all those people have to put up with. So and believe me, that's no easy task.
No, you're a great guy. We love you.
Tim and Sid are hilarious. Yes, they are, Robert. They're fucking amazing. Fixate says, Halloween 4 mask is foul. The mask is foul. The movie's my favorite. And again, I'm going to apologize if you hear my dog losing it. It's Canada Day in about 2 hours, and fireworks are going off. All right.
It's a pretty quiet night over in my neck of the woods.
Oh, definitely not in mine. Definitely not in mine at all. All right. So I went to TIFF. It was awesome. I've been to a bunch of, opening night showings and midnight premieres, and but never had I been through anything like TIFF. Seeing a movie in a theater like that, basically a palace, the Elgin and Winter Garden theaters, it was just fantastic. The acoustics in there were great too. It was fun. It was a lot of fun. And I hope to God I get a chance to experience that, whether it's this year or next year again. But it was considerably later when you had a chance to see Halloween 2018. Like, you didn't even see it in theaters. I remember you came to my house to watch it.
Yep.
At what point do you get into the movie and realize, oh shit, he's not talking out of his ass. This is actually really good.
I honestly can't remember the exact moment when it just sunk in. It was just that opening was so good, and it just kept getting better. You hit that point where it's like, okay, zombies movies were good to this point, and now here's where once you start getting original story, that's where the rubber meets the road. Is once you get into all, you spend some time answering questions, getting caught up to the present, and then you start needing original content, and that's when the rubber hits the road, and it just kept improving. It just kept getting better. And if you've ever listened to me on any of our other shows or anything other we've done, I'm a huge fan of authenticity in sequels and adaptations, and that's just what this screams of. This screamed of authenticity. It felt like a movie made in 2018 that it felt exactly like a direct sequel to the first Halloween movie. And that's that was the goal, and they achieved it phenomenally for me. And it was probably about, I'd say, once Michael breaks out, once you get to those sequences where you're seeing all that, it's like, okay, they're onto something here. This is good. This is Michael. And then you get to the gas station bathroom, and you get that authentic Michael being the Shape type presence. Seeing him through the slats and seeing him in the reflections, and it was authentic and it was amazing and it was awesome. And from there it just kept getting better. There was no point in that film where I thought to myself at all that okay, it's mediocre, it's okay. No, it was great from start to finish, and that was my biggest fear.
Sorry, let me interrupt you for a second. Jorge Rodriguez is trying to super chat. Dude, get a hold of Frank or Toronto Freddy in the chat, and those guys could definitely guide you through on how to super chat. So if Frank or Toronto Freddy want to reach out to Jorge, that would be appreciated. Now, I'd like to also remind everybody that when super chats come in, we're not one of these channels that's going to take the money and go buy McDonald's in an hour. That's not how this works.
Wait, we're not? Damn, I wanted a cheeseburger.
Let me tell you, dude, if you want a cheeseburger, don't go to McDonald's.
I've actually been to McDonald's a couple times in the last month, and I was happy.
It's convenient sometimes, I'll give it that. Anyways, when you guys super chat or when you guys subscribe to the Patreon, that's not money that goes into our pockets for our own personal gain. That is money that goes back into the channel. You've seen the equipment here on the channel. Interesting. So here's an update. Sorry, I need to do this. The wife is messaging me. Police have just been called for a fight that's taking place outside. There is a bunch of people outside fist fighting. This is happening outside of my house right now, so hopefully we don't have to end abruptly. Jorge, one thing you might have to do is if you haven't created a YouTube channel yet, you need to have created a YouTube channel in order to super chat. It takes 2 minutes, man. Again, anyways, all super chat revenue, Patreon revenue goes back into the channel. It goes to securing us guests because sometimes they want payment. It goes to upgrading our equipment. It goes to supporting other ventures like partnerships we have with some merchandise that's coming. That's right. Fandom Empire merch is coming. It'll be Halloween and Star Wars based, maybe a little bit of supernatural stuff. And we'll tell you about some Halloween mask merch that you'll be able to do as well. So, again, interesting. I apologize if this ends up having to leave early, or end early. Hopefully not.
We'll go till we can't go no more.
Yeah, I just our doors are locked, so generally this sort of thing doesn't happen up here. But it is what it is. Anyway, guys, anything that comes in financially to this channel goes back into the channel. We're not robbing you blind to go eat some McDonald's. I get it. We're two fat Canadian guys. That's totally okay. But that doesn't mean we're
going to Tim Hortons.
Yeah, we're going to go take it to Tim Hortons. You guys should know where your money goes when you put it into the channel, and it goes right back into the channel. And you'll see some of those improvements coming very, very soon. Anyway, dude, I remember you were skeptical about Halloween 2018. My cousin was skeptical about 2018. Basically, everybody I know was skeptical. And the best thing I could say is whether you like this movie or not, I think you would be idiotic to disagree with the fact that at the end of the day, Halloween 2018 absolutely breathed new life back into this franchise. Do you think that's a fair statement, man?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, there's no question. I don't think anybody can argue that. I mean, at the end of the day, it had to have grossed a 200 to 300% profit. I mean, that's what do I have to say than that?
I think it would even be. It was a lot higher than that, actually.
Well, I'm just, even just a 200 to 300%. At the end of the day, it's probably closer to 1,000%.
No, absolutely.
I mean,
So at the end of the day, when we look at Halloween 2018, in your opinion, what was your like? I guess this is actually everybody in the chat. I want everybody to get involved with this. Let's get some chat participation going on here. What is everyone's favorite part about Halloween 2018? For me, it's something they showed early and they never should have shown early. And it's the scene where we follow Michael on the street. The kids bump into him. An homage to the original Halloween 2. And he walks in, grabs the hammer, and we follow him for a bit. I love that, but I couldn't believe they fucking showed it before we seen the movie. It's like you didn't need to tease that much before seeing the movie, and you went overboard with it. But I love that. And then my other favorite moment in the movie has to be where, like, literally the guy is standing engulfed in flames. Just, it's almost like he's looking past the girls who are on the other side of the trap. And, like, there he is. Doesn't matter. He's not panicking. He's not flailing his arms. He's standing there like, I'm going to kill you. I'm going to kill each and every one of you. And it's such a badass moment between Carpenter's theme at the end and the way he's looking up at them. It's just fantastic fucking shit, man. How about you?
Oh, man. I mean, I can't narrow it down to a specific moment, but for me, my favorite part of this, the whole movie was the shape. It was Michael being Michael. There wasn't anything he did that wasn't Michael. Everything he did was Michael. And that was just, it was amazing. It was all the different parts of that, being back to being that cerebral, scary thriller presence, and that's something that got further and further away from the character the more movies, the more sequels we had. That's my favorite part of it.
I mean, I think at the end of the day, Michael Myers should be everybody's favorite part of it. Bunch of awesome points in the chat. One of them that and there's the first super chat is Toronto Freddy, and it comes from a mod. Toronto Freddy says, my problem is that I had too high of expectations. You know what, dude? I think that's fair. For example, and I don't want to go on a Star Wars rant here because that's not what this episode's about, but I seen The Force Awakens and I loved it. And I'm not going to go to The Last Jedi. That's not where I'm going with this. Rogue One came out the following year, and I didn't appreciate it for what it was. I don't think Rogue One's the best Star Wars movie ever, but if you go to FandomEmpire.net, our website, I probably wrote the best article I've ever written in my life. And it's about how Rogue One has changed for me 4 years later when recency bias has worn off and the expectations aren't there anymore. And I was able to sit down and thoroughly enjoy the movie for what it is. That doesn't always happen. You may never enjoy it, man. But at the end of the day, I do think recency bias is an awful thing, and it works both ways. You can be too positive about something that you just seen or played and think it's the best thing ever, or you could hate it because you just seen it and it's just so fresh. I don't believe, like, at the end of the day, when you review something after seeing it, you're getting your, initial thoughts on that movie. You're not getting how you actually are going to feel about that movie or game or show for the rest of your life. What about you, Fizz? What's your take on that? That's been one of my
I
things
think
for a while.
You hit it straight on. I mean, it just further proves the point that, expectations are both a blessing and a curse. I got to enjoy this movie 1,000 times more because I had such low expectations. I wasn't expecting anything good for that matter. Even after you hyped it up and, told me your thoughts and how you felt about it, I still had very low expectations and I got to enjoy it so much more because of that. Expectations are the worst thing you can have going into a film because, especially for something you love, because it's nearly impossible for those things to reach those goals, no matter what it is.
Alvaro's heading out for the night. Take it easy, man. Hopefully you tune into the rest of this tomorrow. I do think one of the things that hurt Halloween 2018 was there was a bit too much comedy in it. I don't think that there should have been as much as there was. Like, it needed a bit. You need to pander to a general audience, not just diehards. Mm-hmm. That's where you make your money. I'm sorry, it is. Diehards are great, but unless you're, catching the general audience too, you're in trouble. So I do think that's one area that they need to be a little more careful in Halloween Kills. And for all intents and purposes, it seems like they have been careful with that. Mm-hmm. All right, we're going to shift. Actually, how about this, man? This is what I want you to do. I don't think I've ever asked you this question. Rank Halloween Kills, yeah. Rank Halloween 2018 out of 10 for me.
Out of 10?
Out of 10.
It's a solid 8.
Solid 8. I'd give Halloween oh, good God. All right, there we go. Back on the right page. I'd give it an 8.5. I would. I think when I first seen... Good God, I got to turn this off. 1 second. Apologies for the Facebook noises, people. I'd give it an 8.5. When I seen it, I thought it was amazing. I thought it might be the best Halloween movie ever made. I've come down from it since then. Halloween 4 is absolutely my favorite Halloween movie ever made. But it's a toss-up between the original and Halloween 2018 for 2-3. Spooky Clement. Dude, am I saying this right? Is it Clement or Clemente? How about I just call you Mike? I can call you Mike. I'm saying that because I actually know who that is, and people are going to get to know this individual very well in the weeks to come. So, we got 7 or 8, 8.5, maybe a 9, an 8.5. Bunch of ratings coming in. Robert Andrew Paul says 9. Look, I don't know if a perfect movie exists, but at the end of the day, if you take Halloween 2018 and you compare it to Rob Zombie's movies and you compare it to Resurrection, I do know H2O has its massive fans out there. If you compare it to either version of 6 or even Halloween 5, when's the last time we got a really good Halloween movie? Halloween 4? 1988? The year you and I were born, Johnny? Like, at the end of the day, I get it. It might not have been everyone's favorite thing ever. And there are better horror movies out there. There just are. It was a hell of a return. Not perfect. They definitely went too far in some areas. The Sartain thing, I'm still mixed about. I really am. We got more. Look, they're just flying. I can't keep up with all these. 9, 9, 9, 9, 6.5, 9, 7, 8.5. You know what I love is when someone says, like, I'm going to give this movie a 6.5 or a 7 out of 10, and someone just, like, gets on them. It's like, that's 65 or 70%. Mm-hmm. There's nothing wrong with that score. Is it amazing? No, but it's solid. Toronto Freddy says, far better than those piles of, I'm going to fill in what I'm assuming you meant, those piles of shite. But that's not saying much. You're right there. Comparing them to most of those movies isn't saying much. The Film Lodge says, no, Zombie's version was really good. Hey, if you like Rob Zombie's version and that's your cup of tea, fantastic. I think that's awesome. I think if there's someone that appreciates every Halloween movie in some way, that is great because that means the franchise in some way is still surviving. A lot of people hate Halloween 3 Season of the Witch. Can't stand it. I remember when I was first told about Halloween 3. I remember when I was first shown the Halloween movies, Ray sat me down and we watched 1, 2, and 4. And I said, why are we skipping 3? And he said, well, it's not a movie about Michael Myers. And I'm like, what? So I had no interest in it. I remember I seen it for the first time, I was young, definitely a teenager, didn't think much of it. Went back and revisited it about a decade later, and I have to tell you, man, Halloween 3 is probably still a top 5 Halloween movie for me. Absolutely fabulous. Love that fucking movie. It's so good. But I also understand why some people don't like Halloween 3 because it's basically, it doesn't fit in with the rest of the franchise. Have you seen Halloween 3?
It's in its entirety, no. I seem to suffer from fall asleep halfway through itis watching that movie. Anytime I've ever tried to.
We got a couple of super chats to get to, so we're gonna get to those. George says it's George, by the way. I think I might have called him Jorge earlier. This is the problem when you can't verbally or audibly hear something. You're guessing at some names. And by the way, if I ever say your name wrong, take the time to be like, hey, you asshole Canadian, say my name right. Apologies for the moment of silence there. I'm just trying to tell what the hell's going on.
If this was a wrestling show, we'd be chanting awkward silence right now.
Yeah, well, there's apparently a bunch of cop cars outside the house. So,
well, as long as they stay outside.
Well, I mean, they come inside. Good luck with Tucker. Anyway, it's back to the super chats. It's George, by the way. I've heard a lot of great theories of Laurie and Michael possibly being related. Maybe Chambers revealing that they're related in kills. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to answer this question. Usually we don't dive right into spoilers on the channel. We sort of go around the fence, and you did, spend your hard-earned money to ask the question. No, Michael and Laurie are absolutely not related in Halloween Kills. It would completely defeat the purpose of the direction that they wanted to go with these new stories, which is why they continued from 1 and not 2. It's not a spoiler. Just like Aaron not being alive and not being in this movie is not a spoiler. Michael and Laurie are not related. Does that mean it might not have, or it could come to life in Halloween Ends? Sure. But I'm telling you, in Halloween Kills, they're not related. And I mean, I think that's a good thing. Don't you think, Johnny? Like, let's not go down the same old boring shit again, right?
Yeah, I mean, it kind of pigeonholes you a little bit into Michael, and for me, Laurie's always just been unfinished business. Whether that's just she survived, or at the end of the day they're somehow related, or she lived next door to him. Who knows? But there's some connection to them that doesn't necessarily have to be blood.
No, I agree. I totally agree. Okay, Tommy C, super chat. Halloween H2O is a little underrated for me. What do you think about that, Johnny?
Well, I mean, I guess it depends on each person. I mean, if there's anything we've learned is that ratings are subjective, and an underrated film for me might be an overrated film for you. So, I mean, for him, okay, H2O is underrated. For me, I think it's an okay movie. It's not, it's not awful by any stretch of the imagination, but it's not great. It's not, if I'm picking a Halloween movie, then I can only watch one. I'm not picking H2O, and it's probably not, in the top 3.
The hype for Halloween H2O was real.
Oh, yeah.
Was extremely real, and nobody can ever take that away. I would argue there was more hype about Halloween H2O at that time than Halloween 2018 a couple years ago. Obviously, the box office didn't show that. But I think people forget that the 7th Halloween movie was literally set to be a straight to VHS, I don't think DVD existed then, VHS movie. Straight to home video movie. And then Jamie Lee Curtis came back on board, and they were hoping John Carpenter and Deborah Hill would rejoin. And, the biggest problem for me in Halloween H2O is, 1, hardly anybody dies. And 2, it has this terrible Dawson's Creek PG, 14, 13, whatever feel to it that I just can't get past. The other thing I don't like about H2O is I think the score is garbage. And that might seem like it's mountains to change, but it really isn't. Kill a couple more people, lose the teen feel, and change the score, and all of a sudden Halloween H2O is pretty good, in my opinion. That's what I would have done. I'm currently recording a YouTube show in my office basement, so what the hell do I know? But it's what I would have done. There's more super chats. We're trying to get to them here. Spooky, Mike. I'm just calling you Mike, dude. I tell me how to pronounce your last name, and I will. What is your favorite kill in Halloween 2018? Oh,
Yeesh.
oh, I got to think about this one. Favorite kill in Halloween 2018. I mean, to be honest, I like a lot of the kills we see the aftermath from, but don't see the kill.
Yeah.
A lot of them are really well done. My favorite kill that we actually see on screen, it's honestly, it's a Rob Zombie callback. When he stomps on Sartain's head. You know, basically taken right from Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. I like that one. Again, my biggest problem with Halloween 2018, lacks suspense. Can you think of a favorite kill you have from the movie?
Not on screen. I mean, I think you hit it with the off-screen kills being the best ones. I mean, for me, my favorite, the one that evokes the, you know, when you say kills in this film, for me, it's, you know, Michael in the bathroom when he drops the guy's teeth. You know, you don't see him kill the guy, but you know he killed him for him to have a handful of his teeth, and it's visceral. It's intense.
Super chat in from Frank Riker. He's another one of our mods on the channel. Chat, would your opinions change if H-18 was the only sequel in the franchise? That's interesting. That's a very interesting take, because my follow-up would be, would Halloween still be as popular in the pop culture atmosphere if the only movie was the original? That might seem asinine to some people, but I don't know if it would be as successful.
I'd take a different tack to that. I'd actually disagree. I think it'd be more popular.
Really?
Because I think that first film is so iconic. You know, it created a genre. And I think it is so iconic with, you know, the soundtrack and the film itself that if they'd have waited, you know, 30 years and then come back with the sequel with the original crew, the original cast, you know, of course, people who survived, so Jamie Lee Curtis, and redone it and done a sequel, I think it'd be amazing. I think it would get that hype because it doesn't have to overcome 2 decades of mediocreness.
You're not wrong there. I think one movie that comes to mind, I know they made like a TV special of it, but The Shining was amazing. Obviously a novel first. The Shining sort of survived on its own all the way till Dr. Sleep, which, by the way, if any of you guys out there that love The Shining have not given Dr. Sleep a chance, you are missing out on just an amazing movie. Watch the 3-hour director's cut. It's worth every second. I fucking loved it. It's not just because I'm a Ewan McGregor fan. It's so good. Yeah, you have to get past the fact people are recasted. That's just the way it works. A lot of time has passed. But Dr. Sleep nails it. If you're a fan of The Overlook, the copycat set they built for that they probably spent too much, and the budget for Dr. Sleep was a little out of whack, which is why it failed at the box office. That and poor marketing. It's amazing, guys. Dr. Sleep, don't sleep on it. Pun intended.
I believe it also just went up on HBO Max in the States. So it's available out there on streaming services now, so check it out. You don't have an excuse now.
No, it's amazing. It's worth it. Absolutely worth it. But to Frank's question, would it still be a good sequel? I honestly don't know, because I think I take the opposite side of this from Johnny McMahon, Fizz, whatever you want to call the Green Bay Packer-loving mother effer. Tom Brady's going to kick your ass, by the way.
No.
No. There goes any following we just had. They just found out I'm a Tom Brady fan. That's it. The floodgates open. People are leaving.
Now, in New England, they hate us even more because he went to Tampa. So we got a pretty good fan base going in Florida right
now. At the end of the day, I think that it would not be as successful as a sequel as it is today because of the same reason that Johnny here likes the movie, is I think expectations for the movie were basically low. Like, I don't think it was going to get much worse than Zombie. Think about the last 3 Halloween movies that were theatrically released. Halloween Resurrection and Zombies movies. It doesn't get much worse than that, in my opinion. However, I think at the end of the day, the fact that you had this franchise so many people loved, but had, fallen short of hitting a home run anytime recently, and then Halloween 2018 comes out, and it's just the fact it wasn't a complete disaster helped sort of rejuvenate the franchise. So that's my stance on that. Apologies for taking so long to get to your question, Frank. What do we got here? I know I seen another one come in. I thought I seen another one come in. Where is it? Marcus Hicks, he's one of our Patreon supporters, guys. Again, if you haven't signed up for a Patreon yet, you can sign up for as little as $2 a month or as much as $13 a month, which is our Lampkin Lane tier, where we do 1 or 2 live AMA shows each and every month exclusive to our Lampkin Lane tier Patreon subscribers. And we do get into some more juicier, spoilery stuff on that show. Its link is in the description, and if you can't access the description right now, it's www.patreon.com/FandomEmpire. Again, you can sign up for as little as $2 or as much as $13. And hey, if you can't support the channel, guys, on that level, totally get it. There's a bloody pandemic going on right now that's affecting everybody. Another way you can support the channel, though, is there's 86 of you right now watching this video. Take 2 seconds to click that little thumbs up button, guys. Click that thumbs up button. It helps
42 of you haven't done it yet.
42 people haven't done it yet. There's probably a lot more than that because the numbers keep going up and down. Click that like button.
Right now.
Click the like button, and McMahon will shred his Packers hat live on stream. Maybe not, but click the like button. It helps a ton. And you know what? Again, if you don't like what we're doing, I don't know why you're wasting your time watching us. Click the dislike button, but clicking that motherfucking like button helps us out a ton. Anyways, Marcus, sorry, your question. What are your thoughts on the Halloween Return script? I haven't read the full script, man. I know it's going to be covered front and center in Taking Shape 2, which is the novel, which is the follow-up. Again, I've left it upstairs because I'm an idiot. The follow-up to the Taking Shape 1 novel, which covers the journey from all the Halloween cinematic releases from pre-production to up to theatrical release. And it really gets into the nitty-gritty of what's going on in the Halloween franchise. They're coming out with a sequel to that this fall, guys, where it's going to get into not all, but most of the Halloween sequels that were almost made but didn't quite make it to screen. They're going to get into what those movies were about, and they're going to get into why they didn't make it to screen. And I know the Halloween Returns movie is in there. So if you want to find out even more about why that movie didn't turn out to be, check out that book. Dustin and Travis are both really good guys. Anyway, sorry, I don't know if that's fireworks or not. Wild Night. No, I haven't read the script. I know what the movie was about. I know it's the prison breakout one where he's about to be executed. From what I know about it, I look forward to finding out more about it, dude. It sounds like it's a lot of fun. All right. I think that's going to do it for Halloween 2018 discussion. We're going to go out of order here, and we're going to talk about Halloween Ends before we get to Halloween Kills to end this thing. Halloween Ends, Johnny, I'm going to put you in the director's chair. You're not only directing, but you're writing.
Oh, boy.
You know this is a trilogy, and it's supposed to end at Halloween Ends. That's why it's titled Halloween Ends. Does that mean there's not going to be, that has been ruled out there won't be a follow-up movie 5 or 10 years later? No, there could be, but as of right now, this is the end. How do you end this story? And basically, the question everybody wants to know, are you killing Michael? Are you killing Laurie and Michael? Or are you going to do the unimaginable and allow the bad guy to win?
I think
Watch out.
I'd end it
There's 83 people here that might jump on you.
I think for me the ending is, I mean it's an odd comparable, but it's the Rocky 2 ending. Or the Rocky 3.
What?
Rocky 3
I can see it now. The Rocky
the training.
The Rocky 3 ending. Halloween ends. Confirmed. You heard it right here. Fandom Empire. Lori and Michael are gonna spar in a boxing ring to end this trilogy.
Okay, that's not exactly what I mean, but it's not too far off. No, it's more. I think the ambiguous. How does it really end? Is up in the air. You know, you see the two of them sparring, and they both go to throw the punch, and it goes to blank. And I think it goes to black. I think that's how I'd end it. More in a, they both land what could be killing blows, and that's it. Who lives? Who dies? Who knows? But that's the way I'd end it. You know, without an answer, because the best thing is leaving the answer. You know, for not necessarily for the next guy, but you know, if there is no next guy, leave it for the fans. Let them decide the ending or their ending.
You know, I'm okay with some of that. I really am. Toronto Freddy says in the chat, Dave McCrae has the best ending idea in his concept. I did love Dave's ending. It's great. And if you haven't taken the time yet to check out Dave's sequel concept to Halloween 2018, it's basically like a 2-hour audiobook. I remember having him on and telling him I thought it was that high of quality. And he sort of shrugged it off a bit. But no, Dave's sequel concept is amazing. If you have 2 hours to kill, go listen to it. It's badass. Obviously, he did that prior to the announcement of Halloween Kills and Ends, but he does a knockout job on it. And surprisingly, he gets stuff in Halloween Kills fairly accurate in that video. You know, not everything, of course. Maybe not even half the amount, but he does get quite a few things accurate, and that's pretty impressive considering when Dave made that video. I do see another super chats in. Wayne, hey Wayne, how's it going, man? Wayne says, will Marion Chambers fit into the Loomis role in Halloween Kills, or is she just there to smoke cigarettes and be sarcastic? I hope she is somewhat like Loomis. Again, I don't think this is a spoiler anymore because it was literally covered by basically everybody, every major horror site, Bloody Disgusting, you name it, and it was covered. It was covered by non-horror sites. The Loomis in this movie is Dr. Loomis himself. And if you didn't know that yet, apologies, but it's been basically out there and unavoidable. Dr. Loomis is in this movie, and he definitely plays the role of Dr. Loomis. I know you're talking figuratively, but again, Loomis is Loomis. Marion Chambers, well, in this movie, and she certainly serves her purpose, almost in a callback type sense. She doesn't. I've described Halloween Kills as this ensemble movie, and it's never been done in the Halloween franchise before, where it's an ensemble. Some people might point to Halloween Resurrection and call that an ensemble movie, but not really. Nobody gave a shit about any of those characters. This is a true ensemble movie where you actually care about the characters, and they actually have value to each one of their individual stories. While Marion's in the movie, I don't think she fits into that ensemble. You know, she's back. That's great. Same with Brackett. He's back. But her role isn't anywhere close to, say, Lonnie or Lindsay or Tommy or Karen or Allison or Cameron. She's not on that level. But she does have some substance to what she does. And she's not there just to smoke cigarettes, Wayne, so don't worry. Although, wouldn't that be...
2020, 1970s. She's vaping now.
Oh, wow. The chat is just going nuts. Appreciate everybody in here that's just carrying your own conversation right now while listening to us two horror junkies over here just chat Halloween and talking about how it should end. Before I get to how I think Halloween Ends should end, there's a tongue twister. If you haven't yet, if you don't want to send in a super chat, which you can, and obviously we'll interrupt the conversation immediately, and if you can't afford to subscribe to our Patreon, another way, an easy way, a completely free way you can support what we're doing here and helps a ton is there's a subscribe button sitting to Johnny's left of the screen. It'd be your guys' right. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, take 2 seconds right now, smash that subscribe watermark, and join the Fandom Empire community that's growing. I'll tell you right now, it doesn't matter if Halloween Kills gets backed up to 2021. Fandom Empire is going nowhere. We are producing YouTube content consistently. We have Halloween stuff for Halloween Kills, Halloween Ends. We're going to be talking about past Halloween movies. We're going to take a deep dive into Taking Shape and Taking Shape Part 2 when it comes out. We're going to talk about Scream, Freddy, Jason, The Shining, Dr. Sleep. There's so much coming on this channel, guys. If you haven't yet, take 2 seconds, smash that subscribe button, and follow what we do here. It'd be super appreciated. Now, Johnny, how I would end things is this way. I would not kill Michael Myers. I wouldn't make his survival obvious, but I'd at least have a hint that, kind of like at the end of Halloween 2018, the end credits. Apparently, I'm missing a super chat. That's just now from Aaron. Did I miss one? I see Wayne.
I didn't see one, but...
Yeah, I don't see one either. I see Wayne. I see Marcus. I see Frank. I see Mike. I see George. I see Tommy. We've addressed all those. And it won't let me scroll up anymore. Interesting. Yeah, Toronto Freddy, just send me a private message, man. If you know what super chat I missed, send it. And if someone sent in a super chat and it's not showing up anymore, I know Facebook has these issues, or YouTube has these issues. Just let me know what it was and we'll read it. Apologies. I'm not seeing anything additional here. So maybe I scrolled past it. I don't know. I'm scrolling pretty quick. George, Tommy, got both of those. I know Toronto Freddy sent the first one, and I could have swore we addressed that one. Mike sends his. Frank sends his. Marcus sent his.
George, Tommy,
Wayne sent his. Yeah, I'm not seeing the other super chat, man. So just hit me up privately. Yeah, I answered Wayne's. No worries. Look, love the fact we got 2 awesome mods like Frank and Toronto, who, if they think someone who has spent their hard-earned money didn't get their chat message, they message me and let me know. That's fantastic, but glad that we did get to everyone's. David Zalet says, no way Hawkins lived. Are you sure about that? Are you really sure about that? That's all I'm going to say. Maybe I'm just fucking with you because I've been known to do that. Anyway, Halloween Ends. The way I end it, guys, is simple. I keep Michael's, whether he's alive or dead, a bit of a mystery till the very end, whether it's after the credits or right before the credits. But ultimately, Michael survives, Laurie dies, and you have the option to come back many years later, maybe for the 50th anniversary in 2028, and we get a follow-up to this stuff with Allison and Michael. I'd be okay with that. That'd be a nice little way to come back for the 50th anniversary. Maybe you bring Jamie Lee Curtis back in a flashback during that movie to help sell it a little bit. They're going to do something for 50 years, guys. It's too big to not do something. Whether it happens or not remains to be seen if it ends up being a continuation of what's going on. But if you're looking for new material after this trilogy, it's probably going to be a while unless the rumored Halloween 3 retell/remake comes to a streaming service, which I'd be down for. I think that'd be awesome. But it's probably going to be a bit before you see Michael on screen, just so they don't water it down again. Tyler Bauer says, I have a feeling we're about to get something. Maybe. Maybe, Tyler. Stay tuned. Are you confident that Halloween... So, obviously, we know Halloween Kills might get delayed. And we're going to address that very shortly. If Halloween Kills doesn't get delayed, man, or if it gets delayed but it's still this year, are you still confident Halloween Ends, which has not filmed. Contrary to what some people think, Halloween Ends has not begun filming yet. Do you still think it'll come out next year, or will that get pushed to 2022?
That's a tough one. I guess it's just going to depend on when they can get back to work. Yeah, that's the end of the day. That's the decision maker of all. Is when they can get back to work, and obviously they dictated. They were supposed to start filming back last month, wasn't it?
Oh, hey, look at that! I just found that I can use super chats here. They were supposed to begin filming last month, I believe so. That sounds about right to me, but not entirely sure. It was around this time. I mean, to be honest, when they first set out to film these movies, they were going to be filmed at the same time, and they decided not to do that. And one of the reasons they didn't do that is because the scale of Halloween Kills ended up being much bigger than what they thought it was going to be. Mm-hmm. Big shout out to Justin in the chat who supports what we do here. Happy birthday, bud, from Toronto Freddy and everybody at Fandom Empire, man. Hopefully you're having as good of a birthday as you can given what's going on in the world, dude, and thank you for just tuning in and supporting what we do. Did you see Kills early? No, we have not seen Halloween Kills early. Could we see Halloween Kills early? If it goes to TIFF, there's probably a good chance that's going to happen. No, it's just really, again, as my grandfather told me many years ago, it's not about what you know, Sean. It's about who you know. And truer words have never been spoken, in my opinion. So, I mean, and that just doesn't go for Fandom Empire. That just seems to be how life works.
Yeah, it's also safe to say if he'd had an early screening of Kills and I wasn't invited, then, well.
Kills would happen.
That's a safe bet to make, yeah.
All right. Let's dive into some fun here before we close it off with Halloween Kills.
I hate it when you say that.
We're not doing trivia. Don't worry. We're not doing trivia. Although maybe we should start doing some Halloween trivia. That'd be some fun. All right. So those of you that tuned in yesterday seen a very frustrated me, and I don't even know if Johnny knows this story yet because we haven't had much of a chance to talk. And show the damn mask and not a sneak like earlier. We're going to address that, Justin, and literally appreciate the super chat. We're going to address that right now. So while the super chat's appreciated, that's literally what we were just about to talk about.
You just forced the segue a little bit.
Yeah. He's like, stop with your rambling. Get to it. Oh, wow. Mitchell sends in a super chat on just a ridiculous level. Mitchell, if you're the Mitchell I think you are, you're also one of our Patreon subscribers. And if you're not that Mitchell, then I apologize. Comment down in the chat, man. Let me know if it's you. But so on Patreon, we have different tiers. It's like a $2 tier, a $3 tier, a $5 tier, a $7 tier, a $10 tier, and then the mega $13 tier, which is really steered towards Halloween fans. And Mitchell, before we had the $13 tier, was donating more than what our highest tier was. Which I was like, was that a typo, or is this guy just very generous and loving what we're doing? And then when we did the $13 tier, he upgraded to the $13 tier, and he's going to be a part of that live exclusive AMA, which only has limited spots, guys. Again, if you want to get into a little bit more of a spoilery discussion, not full-on spoilers, but a little more than we could say here, signing up for our Lampkin Lane tier on Patreon, www.patreon.com/FandomEmpire is the way to do that. We have one coming up, a show coming up very soon that's going to have some nice tidbits in it. And God darn it, if I see anybody sharing what happens on our Patreon in public, it's not going to be friendly. And it is that Mitchell, to support the channel on that level, man, is Johnny knows I'm an emotional guy, and I'm having a hard time not tearing up here. I wear my heart on my sleeve. You can't see my arm. Usually you can't, but like it has Star Wars stuff on there. It's about to have Halloween stuff on there. Has my oldest son's name, my youngest son's name is going on there. I'm legitimately a guy who wears his heart on his sleeve, and that was super kind, man, especially during times like these. So thank you. But not to skip over Justin's question, because the amount doesn't matter. Supporting Fandom Empire on any level, guys, whether it's just smashing that subscribe button right now or dropping another like, helps us out a shit ton. Whether it's a financial contribution or just acknowledging that what we do here, there's a lot of hard people that work here. And just to give you an idea, and I don't do this enough, but there's myself, there's Johnny, there's Thomas, there's Jade, there's Rebecca, there's Slade, there's Brianna, there's Brian, there's Zach. And I know I'm forgetting people now, and that bothers me, but there's a good 13 or 14 people that make Fandom Empire run just because I'm the ugly face that you guys get to see once in a while. Me and my ugly mug doesn't mean it's just me. This thing only works because other people help out on the level they do. And most importantly, lately, Frank and Toronto Freddy have saved my ass in that chat. Get us to sign NDAs. That's a good idea. And Mitchell, again, with the kindness. I might drop dead of a heart attack here. So someone have 19.
I think you keep it up, you're going to end up, tattooing his face on you somewhere at this rate. There's that much love going on, man. We appreciate it so much. Words, there are none.
How big of a super chat would it take to, how big of a donation would it take to get us to tattoo Mitchell's kind, lovely face on your behind? How much of a super chat is that going to cost?
Well, it's a 7-figure super chat.
A 7-figure super chat. I don't think Mitchell has 7 figures. I'm just going out there right now saying that. Wow. No. I'll tell you what though. I'd consider putting his name up on my wrist for Mitchell. Just doesn't stop. Good God, dude. You know what's killing me here is because Johnny, you can see my screen. If I'm on this screen, you can see that our video is behind on here. I know our audio isn't. So like I'll think you're talking. I'm like, should I shut up? And then I switch back over to this screen. It's like, no, he's not talking. So wow, we're very close to having over $100 streams. $3 more till we're at $100 stream. That's remarkable. Big thank you to everybody who has sent in a super chat today. I will say, sadly, we only have about 15 more minutes to go on this thing. But maybe we'll cross that $100 mark. Maybe Mitchell will make Johnny get his face tattooed on his behind. And good God.
Good God.
Wow. Mitchell, that is super kind, dude. You have no idea. Appreciated supporting the channel on that level. That's incredible. So anyways, back to Justin's question. Justin, you, sir, wanted to know about the Halloween Kills mask. I think the question is, how bad would Mike kill me if I showed the Halloween Kills mask before it's ready to be shown? And again, we're not tied down by any NDAs because it's a conceptual mask or anything of that sort. We can show what we want on this channel because it's our own thing that we've had made for us by, I'd call our prop guy, our mask guy, Mike. So, it is it is what the question is. How big of a super chat does it take to get Mike to sign off on showing his mask? We'll see, but no, let's address the mask. Again, you've done more than enough, Mitchell. Thank you very much. It's appreciated. Everybody, whether it's $2, whether it's no money whatsoever, guys, and it's a simple click of the like button, which, by the way, click the like button if you haven't, or subscribing, or just sharing our content. I see people out there talking about Fandom Empire now on Twitter, on Instagram, which has been a headache to learn because one of the reasons, some people look, these guys must not know shit. They only got 180 followers on Twitter and 300 followers on Instagram. It's mainly because the number one reason is because we started this so late. Fandom Cantina got started, and it didn't go well, and we had the wrong people involved. And here's a name I missed. Matt. Matt has been absolutely wonderful on the Fandom Empire chat. Anyways, we had the wrong people involved at Fandom Cantina, guys. We fixed that. We got the right people who are passionate about any one of the topics that we cover, and that's fantastic. And so we're going, and we're not going to stop going. So that's appreciated. But anyways, Mike says it's going to take $100 super chat to show the Halloween Kills mask live on air right now. I'm kidding. Mike didn't actually say that, although I do have Mike's heads up right now here on showing a little bit of the mask. So this is where we are with the mask in respects to Mike. You guys know that I went on air yesterday, and I was pissed. The first thing I said when I went on air yesterday, guys, is I'm extremely unhappy. And I wasn't pissed at Mike. Mike has literally worked with me on basically every fucking detail on this mask and has busted his ass off. This isn't, and I'm not knocking other mask makers out there because they do a wonderful job at what they do. But Mike literally spent basically 2 full days on working on this mask to get it where it needed to be. And he busted his ass off. Johnny, you know how I am when I want something done. If I have a vision and it's agreed, I'm not going to hound someone if they haven't agreed to it, But the second that we've agreed to do something, we're going to fucking do it right, or we're not going to fucking do it at all. I get it. We're a new YouTube channel. We're not on the level of Dave McRae or Drum Dums or Wolfman or Cody Leach or the Wham guys, obviously, who are just nuts. We're not on their level. We're growing. We don't deserve to be mentioned in the same breath as them yet, but we're doing good with what we're doing. And one of the things we're doing here is we got some awesome stuff coming for you guys. And Mike has worked bloody hard on this mask. And somehow a mask that was supposed to... Mitchell sends in 4 pumpkins instead of the super chat to get us to see the mask. How dare you, Mitch? I'm just busting your balls, man. You've done more than enough. Don't send any more. You know where... Johnny, we live in the same fucking city. How does a Halloween mask, a Halloween Kills concept mask, which has all the information filled out correctly, end up in fucking Germany? Germany, not Canada. I can see it. They're like, yeah, so your mask ended up in North Bay, Ontario, or your mask ended up in Alberta or Saskatchewan, or it's in Buffalo, New York. Okay, I get it. Mistakes happen. Not only is it not in the city, or the province, or the country, it's not even on the same fucking continent. Like, are you kidding me? I will never, ever use USPS again. Ever. Because I've had nothing but fucking issues with them. If anybody in here works for USPS, I apologize right now, because obviously I'm slamming your employer, or maybe it's your family's employer. But bloody hell, to not only fuck me out of what's rightfully mine and what I'm supposed to get, Mike busts his ass off, and they... I don't think Jason Blum's watching. I'm pretty sure Jason has better things to do. But if he is watching, for the love of God... Stop bugging the guy about when the trailer's coming and when the poster's coming and if the movie's getting released, because at this point in time, the ball is out of his court. It's a universal decision. But Jason Blum is a badass, and I love what he does. Reinventing Hollywood. And if you are
watching, setting up a private screening for us somewhere in the city, we're not asking for it, but we wouldn't say no to it.
Hey. Well, I guess we can't fly down there. The border's closed, so that's not a fucking option.
I don't think that would be classed as essential.
So here's the update on the mask. Not only is it in Germany, but the person who filled out on the USPS's side of it marked the package down as do not return to sender if it doesn't get to the right place, as abandoned. They marked the package down as abandoned. And then, so I decide, you know what? It's not like I have a 6-month-old son and a wife who need me or anything. I do. I also have an almost teenager, which is just crazy.
Stop saying that. I can't. No.
I call them. I sit on hold for over an hour. Justin isn't only an hour later. I'm still waiting from the super. Assuming he means his super chat. I'll give you this. We'll give you a little bit of a tease, man. I can't outright show it tonight. That would require one hell of a super chat to come in because Mike deserves a proper reveal on his work. What's in the box, right? Yeah, that's exactly what's going to happen.
Brad Pitt needs work.
It's going to be someone who doesn't know anything about horror movies. They're going to open that box and they're going to just jump because it is not a clean-looking mask and it's not supposed to be. Anyway, I spoke to someone. They said they were going to create a ticket and do everything. Called back 6 hours later. They claimed they have no record of me ever speaking to someone. So, yeah. Fuck you, USPS. Fuck you very much. Tease. Let's do it, Sean. We'll get to the tease, man. We'll get to the tease. Oh, Jesus Christ. Pardon my language. That was almost $100 super chat. Obviously, Mitchell is very kind with what he's doing, and it's definitely appreciated. Mike, why don't you reach out to me privately? Because I don't want to do a full reveal. That's not fair to your work. I know Mitchell has been so kind with what he's doing, and other people have super chatted too. I want to give a bit of a tease of it. Why don't you let me know what picture is okay to show without showing everything? And, Mitchell is fucking awesome. Not only have we never gotten this sort of financial support on Fandom Empire or anything we've ever done by one person, I've never seen one person on anybody's channel support on the level that this person's doing. So that is awesome.
It's ridiculous.
Justin says, Mitchell, are you single? You clearly have funds. If the wife is watching right now, I'm a dead man for laughing at that. And look, I mean, hey, we're $3 away from a $200 stream. Who would have ever thought that was going to happen?
You remember when we were $3 away from a $100 stream and we were all excited and...
Yeah, no. $3 more and we crossed the $200 stream for this show. Mike, where is it here? Mike, reach out to me privately, man, and let me know what you want to show. I think it's only fair. I see Mike's typing right now. Mike is typing right now, and again, if we cross that $200 mark, we'll give you guys a little bit of a preview. We're going to give you a preview anyway. That's just me being selfish. But $3 more, and we're at the $200 mark. That's pretty fucking awesome. Big thank you to everybody who is joining in this little stream.
Insane, folks, insane.
To be honest, guys, we were only going to go 45, 50 minutes. And we haven't even given you our little Halloween Kills update we got yet, which really might get people some excited because it's actually some fucking hope. The voice is cracking. And Mitchell pushes himself over the line.
I think he pushed himself over the line a long time ago. But
Mitchell's fine. So this is what I'm going to have to do here when I show this preview. So here's the deal, guys. I'm going to put up a photo Actually, I can't do it that way, can I? So this is how this is going to work. It's not going to look good. It's going to get pasted over what's on the screen right now because I don't want to show it just on the. I don't know how to do this because I can't set up a preview page and go to that. And I think Mitchell's a top fan for life, no doubt.
Beyond question.
They secretly find out that Mitchell is actually Jason Blum attempting to shut down our channel, and this is actually just chump change to him.
Shutting us down by giving us more. I don't think that's how it works.
No, I don't think so either. I'm just trying to pull something out of my ass here. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to find a photo here, and then I'm going to talk a little bit about it. Oops. Where are we here? Bear with me. In the meantime, Johnny, while I'm completely looking at my phone here trying to get this thing going, why don't you tell people what you hope to get from Halloween Kills? Why doesn't everybody get in on this discussion right now? And we're only going to go 15 more minutes because this has probably killed the Star Wars Renegades conversation for 15, 20 more minutes, and we'll end this thing. It's probably killed our Renegades recording for tonight, but we are going to record the Camp Haddonfield podcast tonight. Johnny's going to be the guest on this week's episode. So why don't you tell people what you hope to get from Halloween Kills? What do you hope it delivers? Obviously, expectations are dangerous, but what do you hope to get the most from Halloween Kills? And everybody down in that comment section below, doesn't matter if it's a super chat, doesn't matter if it's a normal chat. Let us know. Justin, I now know who you are. You're Jay on Instagram. That's awesome. I literally sent you a message today. Just send a message. What do you want from Halloween Kills, guys? You know, comment down below. Comment in the live chat. Fuck's sakes, getting them confused. Mike's trying to help me out here. And oh, I can't show a video, dude. Can I? All right. Yeah, I'll show the video. Okay. I can't paste the video over the video. So I can't paste this video over the Streamlabs video. So this is what we're going to do. Pay close attention, guys. I'm only going to show this twice. I'm going to show this twice, and then maybe I'll post an image of it. I'll give you guys a warning. We're not going to do the full, let's leave it up there and dissect it and go over it until the unboxing happens. And here's how it's gonna happen. Poor Sean is worried that the purge is going on outside his house. Let me put it this way: if the wifey is talking to my upstairs neighbor still because of what's going on down outside of my house right now, it's obviously pretty serious because she can't stand the guy. Don't worry, he doesn't watch this channel, so this isn't going to get me any sort of shit. But thanks for that super chat, Wayne. It's appreciated. All right, so here's how it's going to work. I'm going to play Mike's video, and in the video, Mike's going to turn the mask from one side all the way to the other. And then I'm going to play it a second time. And it's just going to be on my phone, guys, because you're getting an actual video of the whole mask. Now, I want to make this clear. There's two masks that we're doing. There's one Halloween Kills concept mask that what we need creeping on kills stalking music. The only problem with that, man, is if I don't pick something that's not if I pick something that's not royalty free, it's gonna kill the revenue for the chat, and we don't want to do that. But in a nutshell, we have two masks coming. Mike's sending us two masks. We should be, fingers crossed, doing and we're not using USPS. We're just going straight to the FedEx this time. We should be able to... Mitch just doesn't stop. You're killing me here, Smalls. You're killing me. Maybe we should just, talk to Mitch about sponsoring Fandom Empire as a whole going forward. Maybe Mitch would have some interest in that. Fandom Empire presented to you by Mitch. That'd be something else. Have you heard The Conjuring 3 has been delayed till 2022? Could Candyman be next? I haven't, man. I've been busy tonight. Did that happen? Because that'd be more bad news. But there's so many movies that are still slated to come out. And Candyman just released not only a teaser, but a trailer. But let's get to this mask. All right. Here's how it works, guys. Next Friday, not this Friday. The reason for tonight's live stream is pretty simple. Johnny had the available time to come on finally, because God knows he's a pain in the ass to get on here sometimes. I'm going to be out of town on Friday for a little bit. I got to go pick up my oldest, which means our live stream on Friday is going to be about 45 minutes long. So we wanted to give you guys something that we think is a quality stream, which I think tonight's definitely been that. 2021. Yes. So apparently Conjuring 3 has been backed up. That's interesting. That's more bad news. Is that what you're checking right now, Johnny?
Yeah, the last update I could find was from 3 hours ago that it's likely to be moved, but it hasn't officially been moved yet.
All right, so this is how it works, guys. On not this Friday, but the following Friday, if everything goes as planned, we're going to show you not one, but 2 Halloween Kills masks. That's right. Mike is putting together 2 wonderful masks. It's a sad thing that his work that he did on that other masks basically lost. But 2 Halloween Kills masks, and this is how it's going to work. One is a very accurate representation of the mask in the movie with some very minor differences. The other is still much like the Halloween Kills mask that we get in the movie, but we requested it to be done a little more over the top. The burning's a little more on ours. There's more hair gone on ours because we're going to use that mask for a currently unannounced, untitled Halloween fan film that we're going to do. And so the mask is... The mask's a little overdone. Still very much what you're going to see in Halloween Kills, but a little more to the extreme, and that's the mask we're showing you. So it's not the super accurate screen representation mask you're going to see in Halloween Kills. This one's a little more over the top, but gives you a damn good idea of what you're going to see. And if there's any clarification needed, we'll take care of that on the live stream that we do for that. So without further ado, here we go. I'm only showing this twice, so bear with me. The chat, is the chat frozen for you? I haven't seen the chat move in a while. If the chat's still working, send a message to the chat, guys. Anything. ... question mark, etc. The Zacharoni, can I be an extra in it? Unless you're local, I don't think you're gonna want to be. We're not professionals at this sort of thing. We're gonna show you how you can make a Halloween fan film using very little, but still have it be entertaining and semi-good quality. It's nothing like what Dave McRae's doing with It's Me, Billy. He's going to knock that thing out of the park. But here we go, guys. Here's the mask. We're going to show it. Hang on. I'm going to click on it again, see how this... Okay. All right. Here we go. Get ready. Get set. Go. Oh, shit. He's still showing the mask. My bad. I'm watching the playback of it now to see how much can be seen. I'll hold it up there a little longer. I think it just keeps playing over. Mike, does this video just keep playing over and over and over again?
It would appear that way.
All right, let's show it again. And in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. Toronto Freddy, man. Absolutely. Absolutely. So that mask is, again, the little over-the-top version of the Halloween Kills mask. The Kills mask, I can tell you, has more hair on it, and the burns aren't quite as bad. We have a much more screen-accurate mask that we're going to show you in about a week. And look, that little cell phone video, guys, isn't going to do anything for you, really, until you get to see all the details. And by the way, the video he just showed is not even the completed mask. He did more work on it after that. That is literally during the making of the mask. He still ended up doing some stuff to the hair afterwards. Mike is super talented, and he's going to be doing a bunch of stuff for us here at Fandom Empire, and it's going to be a thrill. Look, the mask is awesome. It's badass. It's not a trailer or a teaser, guys, or a poster, but it gives you an idea. Johnny, that's your first. Were you able to see any of that or no?
Oh, yeah, no, I can see it.
Well, what's your take? Let's get a little bit of a brief McMahon review on what you thought of the mask.
Hot damn.
I love the look. I think it's badass. It's not Zombies where Zombies is like Zombie basically just tore his mask in half in his second movie, but this is awesome.
Yeah, no, I mean, you sent me some. I think it was that one you sent me some photos of last week.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. So you have seen it. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, I got my first look at it then, and my response was, "Hot damn!" Just, it's gorgeous.
Hang on, I'm gonna send one more here. I'm feeling generous. I don't even think Mike knows I'm gonna do this one, but I'm gonna do it anyway. And then Mike can give me shit later. All right, guys, here is a front look at the more accurate Halloween Kills mask. It's gonna go quick, and I'm only showing it once. And that was it. Now you guys have gotten too much. Just for that, we got to get the super chats up to $300 now before we get off air. No, I'm kidding. This has been a ton of fun. I love the mask, dude. I love the fact that it has a it's awesome. It's Mitch just bought the chat room. He hasn't bought the chat room yet, man. That's going to take more than more than just $50 probably. Although I think $50 is probably the most it's set up to be. I don't really know. So, Marcus Hicks super chat. I heard the only reason they're delaying The Conjuring 3 till 2021 is because of extensive reshoots. I don't know, man. We're going to look into that when we get off air here, and we're definitely going to talk about it. And you know what? Because we're recording Camp Haddonfield after this, that might be something to address. Absolutely. So here's what I'm going to say. And Johnny, I want your take on this too, and I want you to try to be open-minded because I know how you can be. But don't... Here, actually, better yet, just be yourself. And if you think it means nothing, then it means nothing. I get it.
Okay.
So here's some Halloween Kills information I received today, guys. I'm going to let everybody know right now, like literally we're in the last like five minutes of this thing, guys. I know I've been saying that. We're in the last 5 minutes. If anybody else wants to get the final word in, send in a super chat. We'll also try to address a few of the normal chat questions, but this is your last chance to send in super chats and normal questions here in the next 5 seconds. Braden Timmons is awesome, man. I've watched his stuff. I just reached out to him today for the first time. Hopefully we can work with him. Nick's another cool guy that doesn't get enough credit for what he does. Sometimes people just look at views and think, oh, views and presentation is everything, and that person doesn't know anything. Not the case at all. That's not how it works. Anyways, so I've been bugged nonstop, dude, by people who want to know if Halloween Kills is getting backed up or not. And the fact is, all right, I think we're back. I think we are back, and it still shows me as streaming here. Hopefully the chat refreshes. We'll see what happens here. I'm going to try to refresh this thing. Hopefully it'll refresh the chat for me. Here we go. And we're back. But Johnny isn't back, so man, look at that. Look at Johnny's face. He's clearly pissed that we just lost it. Thought Universal shut you down. No, sadly, my internet provider has been lacking on their behalf of the agreement. But we're back, and it'll be interesting to see what happens with the stream. I'm going to have to edit that part out. Let's see if we can get Johnny back in here. Let's get Johnny back in here. And we dance to the Skype music, and I believe we got Mr. McMahon back. Did we got him back?
Yes.
We got him back. Okay. Good news, people. Universal did not shut us down. Jason Blum did not send a hitman to my house. But we're back, and I was actually a little bit worried there that we would lose the generous donations made. But that's not the case. We still have them, and that's fantastic. And we're back. Johnny, let me throw a wild idea out there to you.
Okay.
I think it's fair to say we're not going to get a Renegades recording in tonight.
Safe bet.
We're streaming, but we're not recording. What if we recorded the Camp Haddonfield podcast live for each and every person in this stream right now as a thank you to how amazing this chat was? Do any of you guys have any interest in us recording the Camp Haddonfield podcast right now after we finish up where we were with Halloween Kills to all you guys and gals out there? Because maybe we will. The problem with that is episode 3 is going to get next to no downloads. Where are you with that, Fizz?
Hey, I was on the agenda. I mean, this chat has been awesome. You know, not just through the super chats we've gotten, but just through general chat activity. It has been off and pop. It has been off and popping like a Florida nightclub.
All right, so you heard it from Johnny. If we get to $1,000 in super chats, we'll record the Camp Haddonfield podcast. No, we're going to do it anyway. We're going to do it for you guys because this has been fucking badass. I just want to make sure the software, and yeah, no, the internet could drop again. That's another problem. Want to make sure the software is going to record right from where we need it to, and then I transfer it over to an audio file, and we upload it from there. But anyways, Halloween Kills. Let's dive into it. I reached out to a couple of my guys today, mainly my main dude who really has helped us out with any of the content we've done. And first off, I showed him one of Mike's masks, and I said, would you say this is a pretty accurate representation? Now, I've seen a couple of snippets from the movie. And he basically said, yeah, man, that's spot on. Not the conceptual mask we just showed you, because, again, that's a little overdone at our request. But, yeah. I appreciate you make it personal to chat and hit me up on Insta and know me, man. That's awesome. I don't know if you're talking to us or not, but no, anybody who supports what we do here at Fandom Empire, we do our best to make this feel like an inclusive community. The last thing we want to do is, look at anybody and think that we're too good to answer your question. Yeah, when people send in super chats, and I don't think he's with us anymore, but when Mitch does what he did today, we're not pocketing any of that money, guys. That money is going right back into the channel. So yeah, super chats help, but we want to get to the normal chats too. Clearly, by the way I've been answering the chats and the way Johnny's been paying attention to the chats too, and even Toronto Freddy and Frank. I haven't heard Frank talking forever, though. I think we put Frank to sleep. Hopefully that's not the case, but it all goes back into the channel, and it's appreciated. And yeah, YouTube unfortunately doesn't always notify people when we're going live. So those of you that I do know follow the channel, I try to reach out to. And again, another way you can follow what we do, guys, and help grow the community and have a conversation amongst each other, whether it's Halloween or not, go to Facebook and type in the Fandom Empire Den. And we got all sorts of positive stuff going on there. And you will know every single time we go live if you join that group. as long as Facebook lets you know that is. And this might be a good time to let everybody know. You can check us out on Instagram and Twitter. Fandom Empire Now is where to check us out at there. All right, so I reached out to my guy because I was just getting messaged nonstop. When's the trailer coming? When's the poster coming? When are we going to get a confirmation on the release? And I got the same stuff from the trailer and the poster guys. Nobody knows. They just don't know because everything's in limbo right now. Although people keep pointing towards San Diego Comic-Con, the virtual convention, as a possibility for both of these things to drop. Look, at the end of the day, you can drop a poster and a trailer and still have the movie be backed up and not be hurt. You know, the first trailer I've pointed out tons of times for The Force Awakens was almost 14 months before release. It's not unheard of. Anyhow, just lost my train of thought. Anyway, that's what happens. Then he said this about the release. He said, quote, hang on, I'm going to pull up my phone here because I want to read directly from him, and I don't even want to like change any of his wording. Quote, apologies, chaos is still going on outside. I don't know how they don't have that all closed up yet. Maybe they're talking to witnesses. I'm not sure. Where is it here? Okay, here we are. Here it is. Quote, for those that want some hope on a Halloween Kills 2020 release should consider this. At the end of the day, all sorts of films have already been backed up to 2021. Have you ever asked yourself why you haven't heard Halloween Kills being backed up yet? If it was already a foregone conclusion that Halloween Kills is being backed up, it would have been backed up. The fact that it hasn't been backed up yet is hope that they're doing everything in their power to get the movie out this year. Does that mean that it's going to be October necessarily? No. When other movies have shifted their release dates 2 weeks, 4 weeks, and in some cases 6 weeks, or even to the next calendar year, Halloween Kills remains October 16th, 2020 for a reason. And that is, while it might not come out in October of 2020, they're doing everything in their power to get it out in October. And the fact that it hasn't been backed up yet should be seen as a positive, but that doesn't mean the movie is going to come out, because there are things beyond the studio's control that could contribute to what's going on and eventually cause the movie being delayed. That is the long-ass message I got today, and I gotta say, spot on. Spot on. If it was already a foregone conclusion this movie was getting backed up, it would be backed up. They have nothing to gain by leading us on by thinking that the movie is going to, or by making us think the movie's still going to come out this year. There's nothing to gain at all from doing that. If anything, it can hurt your reputation with the fans, especially if at least they decided months ago that it was going to be backed up and didn't announce it until that now. Johnny, where are you with that, man? Again, it doesn't mean the movie's coming out this year. There's things that are beyond every studio's control right now that are limiting anything from coming out this year. And the fact is, if things don't turn around and theaters don't open up and the biggest markets aren't available, you're not going to see any of this stuff.
No.
But I thought it was spot on. And I do think if people want a positive from this, they haven't delayed it yet. If it was decided that 2021's their date, we already know, and we don't, and I think that's a positive. What's your take, man?
No, I think you're exactly right. I mean, you know, pushing the decision back as far as they can is, I think it's the smart decision, because you can't predict the future any more than anyone else can. And, you know, the landscape today may be very different, you know, come the fall, when the film is scheduled for release. We don't know what the world's going to look like. So, you know, pushing this decision back and pushing it back to as far back as they can, I think it's a perfectly acceptable decision. And not having a trailer, even if they do end up pushing it back, I mean, so what? You know, we're still going to get this movie, even if they push it back, it's no more than a year. So
I'm not even sure it would be a year.
No, but I'm saying it'd be no more than, right? Even if they pushed it back exactly 1 year, it'd still be 1 year. and we'd get a trailer, a year and 4 months, a year and 5 months. So what? That's nothing. There's been trailers, there's been, things like that, 2 to 3 years for certain things, and it's no big deal. So it'll come when it comes, and they'll keep pushing the decision further down the line.
Where is it here? Frank mentioned if Kills does come out and is really the only big movie in theaters, ka-ching, ka-ching. And you're absolutely right. If Kills is the only big movie in theaters in October, again, guys, remember, July 1st is only 40 minutes away. Which means, states have been shutting down again. That's just the way it is. There was I don't want this to turn into a political decision, but I think things were opened way too early, and I think that's pretty clear. But October 16th, or better yet, the October 30th date we keep telling people to pay attention to, is still a while away. Mm-hmm. So if they decide in mid-August that this is a thing, then you have a chance on marketing the movie quickly. Marketing the movie now is not the same as marketing the movie in a normal year. Excuse me. It just isn't. Industry standard is a very good thing to look at. But the one thing people usually don't tell you is industry standard is kind of out the window this year. It really is.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what Mitch is trying to say in the chat. I see it. What Mitch is trying to say is he's going to sponsor Fandom Empire exclusively going forward. No, I mean, guys, it's a positive. The movie isn't delayed yet. Does that mean the movie's not going to be delayed in a week or two? No, doesn't. But the other thing is, don't just assume that Halloween has to come out in October. Is it nice to see Halloween come out in October? Absolutely. Sure. It's fitting of the season. But do you know what's not going to happen this October? A normal Halloween season. So yeah, on one level, it's like, okay, getting to go see Halloween in theaters is going to be our Halloween, but it's not going to feel like Halloween outside this year. It's just not. So what's to say you can't see Halloween in November or December or the month the movies go to die in January? I can't wait to find out about the story upstairs of the hell going on outside. Getting messaged again about it. So expect more news from Jason, Mitch says. Mitch, I hope you're right, and I don't want to rain on your parade, dude, because you've been so generous to us. And while I believe Jason would deliver the news, at the end of the day, Universal holds the cards. That's just the way it is. Universal's the distributor. They're going to make the decision at the end of the day. So there you have it, guys. Frank Riker saw someone not wearing a mask, and I yelled, "You're delaying Halloween Kills, damn it!" That's awesome.
Gotta have those priorities.
That is awesome. Toronto Freddy says, I'm down to see a Halloween movie on Devil's Night, provided I'm not working at Screamers. Yeah, man, I think the October 30th date makes a lot of sense. But again, if we have to wait till December to see the movie, why the hell not? However, I think, so here's what worries me about Mitchell saying he will announce news soon. Mitchell has donated a whole lot of money here, and which is appreciated. The bank is always open, Mitchell, if you want to donate more. But it makes me wonder, you never know who's watching these things. You don't. And I get it. Some people will say, well, person X in this stream said this. But sometimes person X ends up, being more in the know-how than you think. It's just the way the world works. For example, Johnny and I, this is Star Wars again, were in a chat way back in 2015 where we were told about an Obi-Wan Kenobi movie and or TV show that was going to happen. Way back before it was news. And this person was in the know-how and ended up being right. So let's not count out Mitch. We're going to wrap up this here and turn to the Camp Haddonfield podcast, which we're going to record live for you guys. It's just going to stay on this stream And yeah, it'll be a lot of fun. Apparently after 2 hours, though, these things start partway in, so we're going to miss the beginning of it, but it is what it is. So when you watch the video back. Anyways, guys, again, Camp Haddonfield Podcast is going to record next. We're going to talk Halloween. We're going to talk the industry, what's going on. It's basically going to be a continuation for this, but for our podcast listeners, their show is going to pick up right now. So Spooky Guy says, Mitch knows Jason Blum. You know who I know? Legit story here. Do you know who I know? I knew a guy named George once who got himself in a lot of hot water. Johnny knew a guy named George, too. Let me tell you, George and I didn't get along too well. George didn't like Sean. Starting to sound like an episode of Seinfeld now.
Well, I mean, at certain points, our lives have been an episode of Seinfeld.
Anyways, guys, stay tuned. We're going to break for 2 minutes. So if you will indulge us by giving us 2 minutes, the Camp Haddonfield podcast is going to start. And Mitch says he's family. Maybe he could be. I don't know. But I'm definitely not going to call Mitch a liar after tonight. But maybe. We'll see. We'll see. You know, it'd be hilarious. Mitch is actually Jason Blum. Anyway, Camp Haddonfield podcast, guys, starting in 2 minutes. Stay tuned. How's it going? This is the Camp Haddonfield Podcast, episode number 3, available on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Anchor, Carrier Pigeon, you name it, it's there. For those of you that are still watching this is actually taking place during a Fandom Empire Live YouTube stream, which has been super successful and super positive with what's going on in the chat, the donations to the channel, and all that much more. Maybe more donations will come in during this Camp Haddonfield podcast. Again, episode downloads for this podcast are probably going to be a little bit down this time since we're recording live for the first time during this thing. Anyway, getting those Blum bucks, yes. We will be responding to our live chat during this episode of the podcast, so those that are listening to this after the fact, apologies that you couldn't be there live on this just fantastic night. It's been a lot of fun. And yeah, I'm looking off to the other side of the screen, and I've lost a co-host, apparently. Michael Myers has apparently swallowed him whole. At some point, he will be back. Anyways, this is the Camp Haddonfield Podcast, a Fandom Empire podcast. I am your host, Sean. Thank you for taking a few minutes out of your day to sit down, talk Halloween, horror, and all that much more with all of us this evening. All right, guys. So, first up, it's Friday. We're recording this Tuesday night at 11:30 p.m. Eastern, and it's possible more news has dropped since then. If it has, I apologize that you're not hearing it on this episode. However, you get to hear our thoughts on Tuesday. I keep looking back to see if my co-host is back, and Michael has killed him. That's it. Sean is asserting the developing situation on. Well, I'm Sean. I'm still here, guys. Johnny maybe has made his way over here to check it out. Frank Riker says, you rock. Frank, you rock. Couldn't do this without you, man. Love what you do over with Dave and love what you're doing here with us. Big time appreciated. So during this Camp Haddonfield podcast, we will get to some of the chat sometimes. But if... hang on. I'm being texted right now about the events outside my house. Pandemonium's happening. Anyways, guys, this is the Camp Haddonfield podcast, recording live for the first time on the YouTube channel, the Fandom Empire YouTube channel. If you haven't smashed that subscribe button yet, smash that subscribe button, support the channel. We will be accepting super chats during this broadcast as well. We don't expect to get any more. That would be a little bit selfish, but if people do want to donate more, feel free to. I'm just trying to buy time till my co-host comes back. Oh, he is back. He has not been killed by Michael any longer. So joining us on this episode of the Camp Haddonfield podcast, last week was Matt. This week is Johnny. How's it going, man?
Oh, it's going amazing. I'm excited.
Are you? I'm running out of a voice.
What?
I'm running out of voice.
Oh.
And I'm running out of water. Not good. Not good at all.
Yeah, I'm almost out of water in this bottle, too. I guess I'm switching to the Gatorade now.
Yeah, I don't have any Gatorade handy. So this is what we're going to talk to you guys about on this episode. We're going to dive into Halloween Kills and the budget for this movie and where some of that budget has gone. And we're also going to dive into Dr. Loomis's role in Halloween Kills. Well, pardon me, not his role in Halloween Kills, how he's presented. Frank Riker in the chat says, Hope Kills is a musical. Again, those that are listening after the fact, sorry that you missed out on this monumentous night, but at least you're getting the edited version on the Friday. We had another super chat come in. At least the amount says it's gone up, but I don't actually see the super chat on the chat. Toronto Freddy says, can you show the chat my Freddy B-Day message vid? Can you show the chat my Freddy B-Day message? Oh, okay. I know what you're talking about now. So this is what I'm going to do, man. Just because we're recording Camp Haddonfield right now. Stick around. Camp Haddonfield's only a 25 to 30-minute podcast. Ken in the chat. Mask looks awesome. Hope you get the... just my phone's blowing up from you guys. That's amazing. You guys and the shit that's going on outside of my house anyway. Anyways, Toronto, remind me when we're done recording the Camp Haddonfield podcast. I'm going to click stop on the record button and we'll say goodbye to everybody on the stream and we'll definitely show it then. I know what you're talking about now, but maybe forward it to me in a message. Oh, I think you just beat me to it.
I'll make sure I remind you.
You did. Yeah, I'll try to have the problem is I don't think you're going to hear volume on it, man. But you'd be able to see it. So, yeah, Johnny, remind me of that. Let's come back to that one. We'll definitely show it, though. And, yeah, we have a Halloween fan film that we hope to begin production on. I don't even want to call it fan film because it's probably going to be more a series of, like, 2 and 3 minute shorts, which is probably the better way to do it. And yeah, so... Greg Williams in the chat says, I hope his hands look like they do in Halloween 4 and 6, 4 through 6. I can tell you he doesn't wear a bandage like some people are reporting. Just ridiculous. And no, Michael Myers does not get taken to Haddonfield Memorial Hospital for wound repair. That doesn't happen. Can't believe that's actually out there. Unbelievable. Anyways, let's dive into this a bit, man. First up, we just found out that The Conjuring is likely to be delayed. David Irwin in the chat, got to recognize this, says, it's 4:30 in the morning in Dublin. I got to go to sleep, guys, but thanks for a great stream, and bye to everyone. Big thank you, David, for sticking it out, man. Then again, it's only going to be 25 more minutes here with the Camp Haddonfield podcast, so, but I get it. You're up late, totally. The Conjuring 3 has apparently been delayed. I don't know if that's official yet or not, but it appears it's going to be made official. Marcus Hicks, one of our Patreon subscribers, pointed out that he believes it's due to major reshoots and not what's happening with the pandemic. should we be concerned about this, or is this just more of the same in a studio moving back their movie a year to be safe? Or like, does this affect Halloween Kills like some of the other ones have?
I don't think so, no. I mean, I think the only things that will affect Halloween at the end of the day are the tentpoles, the box office, the big ones. You know, they're the ones that set the tone.
I think The Conjuring's a pretty big one. I do.
Well, I mean, when I'm talking tentpoles, I'm talking Tenet, I'm talking Mulan, I'm talking, you know, the big cheeses, the big, you know, the big kahunas. And The Conjuring just isn't a big kahuna.
I'm going to have to agree to disagree. I think The Conjuring has helped revolutionize this part of the industry over the years. And while I didn't think 2 was anywhere as close to being as good as 1, I really like what they do with that. And I do think that it is a bit of a bad sign of what's to come. However, if it's because of massive reshoots and they don't feel safe reshooting right now, then yeah, I mean, it's nail in the coffin.
It's all in the reason, right? I mean, if it's a pushback to do some reshoots, then it has zero effect on anything. But if horror films start shying away from theaters because they're afraid of the box office, then I think it has that trickle down effect into Halloween.
Yeah, no doubt. And I can tell you right now, there are no massive reshoots planned for Halloween Kills. It's not like Halloween 2018. We're getting in the chat. Candyman will probably be next. Maybe. Candyman's scheduled for September. I can see Candyman being backed up before it gets moved to next year, just because they dropped the teaser, they dropped the trailer, you name it. We'll see what happens. But, you know, things are bad down there in the States right now for obvious reasons, and it's going to take a little bit of cleaning up to do. I know it was pointed out several times July 30th is the reopening date for theaters, but I kind of fully expect...
That's a tentative reopening date.
And
I mean,
that's
it was
already...
it was beginning of July.
It's technically been pushed
2
back
weeks ago?
twice.
3 weeks ago?
Yeah, it's been pushed back twice. And I would be like... I think Tenet will, whenever it happens, is going to be the film that opens when theaters open. It's going to be the tentpole movie to go see. So I wouldn't be surprised if movie theaters now push their date back to mid-August. And why not? And mid-August is still 6 weeks away, where you can have some good progress shown. But at this point, you're basically looking at the beginning of September. And so I don't know if Halloween Kills is coming out this year. I really don't. I was pretty positive a few weeks ago, but it was also, you know, with the caveat of you can't have disaster strike again with the pandemic, and it has.
Mm-hmm.
Justin says AMC announced today they're pushing back the reopening. I heard they pushed back to July 30th. I don't know if they pushed back even further. We'll have to wait and see on that one. Again, live chat here on Camp Haddonfield this time around.
It's July 30th as of 15 hours ago.
15, so that's what it got pushed back to. Yeah, I expect that date to become mid-August. I really do. And even then, it might not hit. So, you know, so fans of The Conjuring, you're going to have to wait till next year. You know, same thing happened with Venom and several other films. Let's dive into some Halloween Kills talk. So, everybody basically knows Dr. Loomis is back in some way for this movie. Not in the current timeline, in the flashback that's been well publicized. However, they don't know how he comes back. We had previously reported on this channel that he was coming back via CG and he'd be prominent. I got to watch what I say here because I promised I wouldn't put this out too much in public. All I can say is some of the information we received on Loomis was not accurate. He's definitely in the film. He's definitely prominent. And I think when people get to see him in this film, they're going to be very happy with what's delivered to them with Loomis. I know that's vague, but at the end of the day, Dr. Loomis is back. It's awesome. It's going to be fun. And it's going to be done in a way that I think is, you know, people are going to appreciate. It's not going to be, oh, hey, look at that trench coat running down the street. Yes. See you later, Sam. It's nothing like that. Johnny, you know a little bit about this anyway. The idea of bringing Loomis back, are you good with it?
I'm worried about it, you know, because it has the potential to go bad. That's the risk they're taking. I mean, we've seen other films bring back, deceased actors and characters and have it work out. But we've also seen examples where it doesn't. So I'm worried about it, But if they with limiting it to a flashback, I think is safe. It's just a question of, is it important to the story? That's what it's going to come down to. Is it just a flashback for flashback's sake, or is it something that is necessary to push the narrative forward? And if it's not the latter, I think it's a waste.
Just because we've already talked about this on the channel, I will clear this up. It definitely does push the narrative forward. It is important. It's not just a flashback for flashback's sake, because if they would have done that, let's just do it for the sake of doing it, that would have been a huge mistake. That would have been crossing the line of cheap money grab. And yeah. Flinner says, if I sub to the Patreon, will you give me all the spoilers? Though I already know a lot of them. No. Well, if you sub to the highest level, the $13 Lambkin Lane level each month, which, by the way, today, the last 19 minutes here is your last chance to sign up for that level to be involved in July's shows. We get more spoilery. We talk amongst each other. We reveal a little bit more, but those wanting us to do a whole out Reddit and spoil the entire movie doesn't happen, but we do it in a constructive way that allows us to be a little more open and a little less discreet about what we're talking about. Again, if you want to sign up for the Patreon, it's www.patreon.com/FandomEmpire, and you want to check out the Lampkin Lane tier. So if you want to do that, Flinner, go ahead. There's a bunch of people over there already. We have, I think, 25, 26 Patreons that love what they're getting and tell us all the time how much they love what we're doing. And it's definitely worth it. If not, then we totally understand. That's your call. I missed it in the chat here. Someone said something I got to get to. It had Freddie laughing. All right, Wayne, who has definitely super chatted this channel before. Big thank you to Wayne for that. He says, Michael will have to change from knife to machete to social distance. Oh, shit. That's good. That's good, Wayne.
I think Jason would sue for gimmick infringement.
Nick Gilchrist says, what do you think of Lindsay's role in Halloween Kills? Watch our videos in the next 2 weeks, and you're going to know what I think of Lindsay's role. We have an exclusive video coming out all about Lindsay. So, anyways, dude, at the end of the day, bringing Loomis back is a moneymaker. The way they do it is definitely more respectful, I think, to the deceased. And it's not a cheap money grab way. I really don't believe it's a cheap money grab way. And they're so confident in how they do it that he's front and center when he is there. And that takes balls. Because God knows using any deceased actor or actress is, so it's not easy. It isn't, because it can go very wrong. Toronto Freddy says, Mike Flanagan did a fantastic job with the shining characters in Dr. Sleep. Have you seen Dr. Sleep yet, man?
I haven't. I keep planning to watch it now that it's up
you got
the border on Crave.
It's got to be the director's cut.
I haven't sat down to watch it yet.
It's got to be the director's cut you watch. It would be criminal to not watch the director's cut. And maybe that'll be the first movie we watch together. Maybe have a campfire, set up TV outside, watch Dr. Sleep for 3 hours. Nice new comfy chairs out there, too. Anyways, so yeah, Loomis, front and center, man. Are you excited knowing that it's not just a cheap throwaway moment for the sake of, having a minute, and that it actually serves the overall narrative?
I mean, it certainly bodes well for it. It's going to come down to the execution. Not just in how it affects the story, but in how it looks. Because it's an effect they can't really cheap out on. And if they do, then it's not going to look right. That's my biggest story. Having heard the things you said the last few minutes, that it's just going to look cheap.
Wayne, if you want to know more, hit up the Patreon, man. Hit up the Patreon. Nick Gilchrist is Allison's role emotional in Halloween Kills, and is Andy showing her acting skills in this film? Yeah, to the point that when we first started covering Halloween Kills stuff, I didn't give the Allison character enough credit, and one of our sources basically got back to me and said that you can't do that because she's wonderful in this movie, and Allison and Cameron are both really, really good in this movie. And again, haven't seen the movie. Only going off what we know, and I think people are going to be impressed with what both of those characters do. Johnny, let me ask you, man. I want you to take a second and talk to us about what is your favorite Halloween movie and why. And if the chat wants to get involved in this too, what's your favorite Halloween movie and why? Comment in the chat. We would love to know what all you guys think. Johnny?
Oh, man, that is a
$1 million question?
It really is. Because it's just, I don't want to say so many possible answers, because there's really only a handful. But for me, my favorite is the first one. It's the one I can go back to. It's the one I've watched the most. It set the tone. I said it. It created a genre. It is the godfather of slasher films. It's my go-to of the series is the first one. I love it. It's amazing. I mean, I'm not going to turn down, some of the later sequels, that are more on the top of your list, but yeah, my favorite it's number one. It's the first one, bar none.
Mine's Halloween 4. I love Halloween 4 because I think it has the best opening sequence in Halloween. I think everything from the time we see the first frame of the movie to the time the ambulance crashes is just breathtaking. I love that Halloween 4 feels a little darker. It moves at a consistent pace. The pacing never switches in that movie. The movie goes by really quickly. It takes you by the seat of your pants. I don't like the mask. It definitely loses points there. But, Rachel in It's Wonderful. Loomis in Halloween 4, by far his best Halloween performance, in my opinion. Just a lot better. Yeah, so Halloween 4 is mine. I've seen some really interesting ones in the chat that I want to get to for a second here, man. Flinner says Resurrection. I don't know if he's being tongue-in-cheek about that or not. But, hey, if it's his favorite, hands down to him. We got lots of 1978s, obviously. That's a bit of a given. Yeah, a ton of 78s. A lot of people saying H-18's close. And we even have a few people agreeing with me that Halloween 4 is their favorite. Spooky Guy, who's a Patreon supporter for us, asks, what did we think of the atmosphere in Halloween 6? Well, Spooky Guy, my question would be, what version of Halloween 6? Because there's two drastically different versions of that movie. And I think that's important. You can't just say Halloween 6 and not iterate which movie you mean. So,
look at that. We got an H3 in the chat. That's
do we? Who had H3? I want to call them out.
Grant Herson.
Season of the Witch. Hey, Season of the Witch is awesome. If you maybe didn't like that movie when you're younger and have more of an open mind now, go back and watch that movie. By the way, Dick Warlock is in that movie. The score in that movie is incredible. I fucking love that movie. Just trying to catch up with the chat here, everyone. H4 for me, man. Totally Halloween 4. Let me just check on the recording here. 22 minutes in. So we're going to wrap up here very shortly on this very different episode of the Camp Haddonfield podcast. I'll probably add to it after the fact. Johnny, I want to bring up, let's talk about a different horror movie here, guys.
All right.
I want to talk to you a little bit about, I want you to all, blah, blah, blah. We've been on too long, 2 hours and 14 minutes. Tell me about a horror movie that scared you as a kid just frightened the shit out of you? Maybe it doesn't today, but really got to you.
Oh, Child's Play.
Really?
Well, yeah, I literally had a good guy doll growing up. Like, how, like, the childhood doll I grew up with was, I don't think it was an actual good guy doll, but damned if it did not look identical to Chucky. And the first time I saw that, I couldn't, it tossed that sucker in a closet and just not look at it again for a long time. It's still in my closet now, but that's more because, I'm in my 30s and not, under 10. But, it's still, the memories of seeing that and seeing Child's Play for the first time. I love them. Growing up, they were my favorites because, once I got a little older and started appreciating them, I had that tie back to, I had my own Chucky, and I enjoyed them. I enjoyed them a great deal. Even the ones that people don't like it was Child's Play 3 or 4 with at the military academy. I even enjoyed that one.
I got to tell you, Chucky has never done it for me. And this might get some hate, and I apologize. And if people love Chucky, that's awesome. All the power to you. Chucky has never done it for me. I look at Chucky and I laugh. I can't take him seriously. I can't. I've tried.
If your introduction was Bride of Chucky or
I don't even remember what the first one I seen was.
You're screwed.
I think the problem is I didn't see any of the Child's Play films until I was older, and I probably should have watched them when I was younger to have that scare effect. Because by the time I watched them, it was just sort of like, oh, okay, this is cool, I guess. One that did it for me is I stayed up way too late one night and watched I Know What You Did Last Summer with my parents. And something about the guy in the creepy black raincoat with hooks. I've never liked hooks. Ugh. Hooks scare me. I Know What You Did Last Summer, which is not a particularly great movie, just scared the fuck out of me. And I remember seeing raincoats for like the next year or two. Whenever we'd see them, I'd just be petrified. I was scared.
Yeah, that one never. I never found that one scary.
See, and I mean, that's why film is subjective. I didn't find yours scary,
Absolutely.
and you didn't find my scary. It's the wonderful thing about talking about film. All right, that is going to do it for the Camp Haddonfield podcast. Don't forget, check us out on, we're going to wrap up our YouTube stream in a second, but for now, we're saying goodbye to the Camp Haddonfield podcast. Check us out on Instagram, Fandom Empire Now, Twitter, Fandom Empire Now, Facebook, the Fandom Empire Den. You can subscribe to our Patreon for as little as $2 a month or as much as $13 a month and get in on that Lampkin Lane tier, www.patreon.com/FandomEmpire. You can check out our website, www.FandomEmpire.net. We're always looking for more contributors over there. And, yeah, Johnny, thanks for doing this, man.
Oh, it's been amazing. It's been a great pleasure. I've enjoyed every minute of it.
It's been a lot of fun. And we'll see you next time, guys. Ciao. So I will add to the Camp Haddonfield podcast later. It'll probably end up being like a 40-minute episode. Go back and edit some of that. But, guys, for the live stream, 2 hours and 17 minutes. We got 5 minutes left. If anybody has any more love they want to share or any more super chats they want to send in or any questions they want to send it in at all, we're turning the room over to you guys for the next 5 minutes. We'll read everything we possibly can. I have not forgotten about your video. It is literally the last thing we're going to show. Again, I don't think we're going to be able to have audio, though. Hopefully my mic picks it up. I'll try to turn the mic close to the webcam because I'm going to have to show it on my phone, obviously. But yeah, so we'll do that. Again, final 5 minutes here, guys. If you have any more super chats or questions, send them in. If you want your question guaranteed to be answered, send a super chat in. If not, send a regular chat in. We'll get to everything we can. The 5-minute clock is officially on, and then we'll get to Toronto Freddy's video. Alrighty. Flirt says, Sean, have you played The Last of Us Part 2? I have not. I haven't played The Last of Us Part 1 yet. I know.
That is offensive to me.
I need to do it. I bought it, man. I think I paid $10 or $15 for the digital version of it. Just haven't had time to get to it. This Fandom Empire stuff, and the whole being a dad thing takes up a lot of time. Have you played the second one yet, man?
I have, actually. I'm about 6 hours into my first playthrough. I am loving it.
I was gonna say, I hear a lot of hate about it out there, but it sounds like the people that...
You know what? I've had enough of the hate. Unless you've actually played it and have hate for it, then I will acknowledge your hate. But if you've never played it and you hate it because reviewers said this happened or you heard that this happened, I'm trying to not give spoilers because it's a pretty damn amazing game.
It sounds
the story
like people...
is amazing. It's a very story-based experience. So for someone who's never played one, I can't really go into specifics of the spoilers that people are rebelling against because it ruin the entirety of the first game for you.
It sounds like people just had their own set of expectations of where they wanted the story to go.
It's not even expectations. It's just that,
No chat. Sorry, 1 second. No spoilers in the chat, guys. Toronto Freddy, Frank, if you guys see anybody posting spoilers, please remove the message. Anyways,
it just, yeah, I mean, I dealt with a guy who, you knew him. He was in the fantasy football with his Mark, of course, and just spent 6 hours ranting about how he hated the game. And finally, somebody else asked him, so you played it? No, I've never played it. I haven't spent a dime on it.
Right.
Your opinion's not valid if you've never experienced the thing you're discussing. That's my stance. If you've played it, if you've watched somebody else play it even, then your opinion is valid. But if your only experience is secondhand, somebody else played it, you read their review, then stop talking about it.
Absolutely. Totally. I'm trying to catch up with the chat here. Again, guys, if you want your question definitely read, send a super chat in here. Got about 3 minutes left. I got to pick and choose or we'll never get to everything. Where is it? I just seen his message. Spooky guy. Well, now's a good time to ask again. Opinion on the Atmosphere Halloween 6 producer's cut. Well, I can tell you that I prefer the producer's cut. I kind of like the gothic dark feel it has to it. The whole cult aspect of it is closer to what it was intended to be, especially if you read the Taking Shape book, but still nowhere close to what the original script wanted from the movie. I quite like the ending is rushed, obviously, because of the reshoots. I quite like the Halloween 6 producer's cut, and it's right up there close to my top 5 Halloween films. Might even be 5th. I'd have to go back and do a ranking video, which I definitely don't want to do off the top of my head and not give anything the credit. Fizz, I know you've seen the Halloween 6 producer's cut. I remember you and I watched it one night together when I was living at a couple places ago where I lived. Your thoughts on the whole Cult of Thorn and all that, Halloween 6?
It's not your daddy's Halloween. That's the best way to describe it for me. It wasn't bad. It was a new direction that, at that point that the franchise really needed. It needed a kick in the teeth somehow, a kick in the pants. Mm-hmm. And it certainly had potential that, I would have enjoyed a great deal getting into more of the backstory, I guess, of Michael himself and explaining how he is who he is and the things he can do. Would have been a nice cutaway for a Halloween film that's not Michael centric.
Yeah, no, I get it. Just disastrous pre-production issues that travel or carried over into on-set issues and more post-production issues doomed that film, sadly. Lawrence says hello from California. Hello, Lawrence. Hopefully you and your family are staying safe. Don Harrison says, has Dave McRae talked to you about playing Freddy in the new fan movie? I think it's called New Friday. No, Dave and I haven't talked about that. Dave and I basically talk Halloween, and it's not like we talk all the time. I'll reach out to him once a week or so. We're both Toronto-based guys. He gives us a lot of advice on the direction of the channel and equipment, and Dave's a really good guy. I'm not trying to give the impression that Dave and I are super close because that's not the case, but Dave has been very considerate with his time, and I definitely value his opinion, and he's told us firsthand that he likes what we're doing over here, and we definitely have always liked what he's doing, so big shout out to Dave for sure. Where where do we got here? I think that might do it here. Looks like it's just more talk amongst each other. So, guys, with that said, this 2-hour, 23-minute, and 43-second stream is going to come to an end. Grant Harrison. Oh, this will be the last one, I guess. Not sure if you talked about this or not. What are your thoughts on Kevin Bacon possibly being Freddy? I think there's probably more of a chance of me playing Freddy Krueger, to be honest. That's how likely I think that is. And it's Dylan's new nightmare. That's right. Yes. Shame on me for not knowing that. Thanks, Toronto Freddy. Big thanks to Toronto Freddy and Frank Riker for moderating the chat as usual. I think we might have put Frank to sleep a couple of times. He's not been nearly as active towards the end of this thing as he normally is. But big thank you to them. Big fucking thank you to Mitchell, who I don't think's here anymore, or if he is, he's being quiet, for sending in massive super chats of epic proportions and supporting a channel that's really in its infancy on a just outstanding level, man. If you're still here listening to this live or listening to this after the fact, thank you very much, man. Greatly appreciated. It's now Canada Day. Happy fucking Canada Day to all my fellow Canadians out there. Yeah, happy Canada Day. Big thanks to everyone who sent in a super chat, everyone who sent in messages, everybody who took time out of their Tuesday evening, now Wednesday morning, to sit down and do this little marathon show with us. Big thanks to the 80 people that decided to put likes on this video. Greatly appreciated. Big thank you to everybody in the chat. Big thank you to everyone except for the fucking idiots outside of my house and the idiots at USPS who screwed up the mask delivery. Big thank you to Mike for allowing us to show off a little bit of that Halloween Kills concept mask. And yeah, just great shit, guys. Great shit. Again, don't bother sending in any super chats now, guys, because the show's over. But if you want to support the channel when we go live, you can always send in super chats, and you can support us on that level. Or you can join our Patreon for as little as $2 a month or as much as $13 a month. That gets you the Lampkin Lane tier and our exclusive AMA show that'll happen 1 to 2 times monthly, depending on the show, regardless if Halloween Kills gets backed up or not. Everything that comes in goes back into the channel. You can also check us out on Twitter and Instagram, Fandom Empire Now. Also on Instagram, CampHaddonfieldPodcast, which we did an impromptu live recording of today just to get it out of the way. And Johnny, thank you, man. I think we said 2 hours max. We went 26 minutes over and still achieved everything but the Star Wars podcast, which is probably best to be left until Thomas comes back anyways, man.
No, it was amazing. It was a whole lot of fun. I enjoyed it. You know, just getting to get my horror on.
I'm sorry, you're what?
My horror.
I know what you said.
You sick-minded, dirty man. Get your head out of the gutter.
Dirty man. This guy over here sends me a picture today of Jar Jar banging Padme.
Danger, Will Robinson. Don't you put that on me. All right, I still think I should send you for an involuntary psych hold for even having that photo. Sending it to me. Jeez Louise.
It's a lot of fun. You know what, guys? As we're going off air here, I see 45 of you are still around listening to this thing, watching this thing. Let us know. Two of the last 3 times we've been on here, we've had a guest on. Do you prefer it when we have a guest on? Obviously, sometimes it's just going to be me. That's the way availability works. But we said we wanted to get more people from Fandom Empire on. Let us know if you want to see more people from Fandom Empire on. Again, appreciate everybody's support. And Halloween Kills, if there's something positive to take from it, it's the fact it hasn't been delayed yet. Big thank you to everyone. We'll be back Friday, 1 p.m. Eastern. It'll be a short live stream. No choice there. My ass, regardless of how well it's doing on Super Chats or anything else, will be out the door 45 minutes to an hour after it going on air. We'll see you next time, guys. For McMahon, I'm Sean. McMahon, Johnny, Fizz, you have 10,000 names, man. Fuck. For McMahon, I'm Sean. We'll see you next time. That fucking guy right there, the boogeyman's coming. You can't see him. You can't see him. The camera frame's not close enough. This guy right here, yeah, he's coming. Although he's also about to lose his primary position on how he sits in the background on these shows. So that's going to go to a little better mask. So anyways, guys, see you next time. From everybody at Fandom Empire, thank you for the support. And before we get off air, I almost forgot to do this. I almost forgot. And McMahon forgot to remind me. It's only fitting.
Well, that's because you reminded yourself like 4 times and then forgot about it.
I have a terrible memory. Check this out, guys.
That's very true.
Here we go. I'm going to move the mic close to the camera, see if this picks it up.
It's the man of your dreams with a special message. 1, 2. Happy birthday to you. 3, 4. Here's to many more. 5, 6. Make a wish when you blow out them candlesticks. 7, 8. Hope you get what you asked for. Bet you can't wait. 9, 10. Toronto.
Oh, the audio cut out.
Bet you can't wait. 9, 10. Toronto Freddy wants to wish you a happy birthday again. All the best. Many unhappy returns.
Apologies on that one, Toronto Freddy. Almost forgot. Hopefully you're still here. We played it on air as best as we can. If you can send me an actual file of that, we'll play it on air on Friday on a much better version. But that was badass, man. That sounded great. Really well done. And hell, maybe we'll have to do ourselves a little Freddy versus Michael short in the fall and get you involved in that. That'd be badass. Anyways, for real this time, before I end up a single man, that wouldn't be good. That's going to do it for us. For Johnny, Toronto Freddy, and Frank in the chat moderating, and everybody else at Fandom Empire. And I think this guy deserves the last shout out because his contributions on this stream were amazing. Not sure about his claims of who he might be or might not be related to, and maybe he is right. Big thank you to Mitchell. The support on that level, never could have imagined. Amazing. Thank you very much. We'll see you guys Friday. Who knows? Maybe Johnny will be around then. We'll see. We'll have somebody on maybe. Maybe it'll just be me. I don't know. I don't fucking know. I need to go. Ciao. USPS? Fuck you.